Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chris Scully and Bob Spitz coming to you live from Drive. And today our guest is Christoph Schopfer from Euro Motors in Auburn, California. How are you today, Christoph?
I'm doing good. What about you guys?
Fantastic.
Good. Yeah. I'm celebrating my birthday. I came
Oh,
on
nice.
just to
Thanks,
join
Bob.
to see you because it's been a long time.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bob.
Yeah. So, Christoph, it's been a long time since I've seen you, and
Yeah,
I've known you and your dad for a long time. How is Urs?
he's doing good.
Is he over in Europe?
No, he's at home, probably 5 miles from here. He's painting his Sprinter van currently.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
So you just recently did a very successful transition. And we wanted to talk a little bit about that, how it went, kind of what you went through on that. And tell us a little bit about first of all, how long was the whole succession process for you guys?
So my dad's actually still the owner of the
Okay.
business, but he is not involved. I mean, he comes in every now and then. He does a lot of the marketing, just because that was kind of our agreement. When I do purchase the business completely, I will probably keep him on payroll as marketer, just because he's good at it.
And he
That makes
enjoys it.
sense.
And he enjoys it. I don't. So that's where we are at. But more recently, the past, I've been managing the business for 12 years now, almost 12
Wow.
years. And I was a tech a long time ago, and I came back after college. I did my own thing, as you guys know, and came back to run the business. And I was mostly just manager for the first, I don't know, 7 years or so. For the last 3 years, I've really taken over, and really the last year, I've really stepped into like the owner role, even though I'm not the full owner currently.
At least not on paper.
Not on paper, yes.
Right.
Very difficult. There was some hurdles. Actually, I'm glad I'm meeting with you guys this week, because there was some very recent hurdles that I knew were going to come with me stepping into that role. And we're dealing with those right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those hurdles are, so the whole team we have right now, I hired over the years. We did
Good.
have, yes, we did have one person that was there before me. He was our lead tech. And I knew that he would not want to work under me.
Yeah, it's hard to gain altitude with those older guys.
Yeah. And so I knew that it was just a matter of time. And he gave his notice last week. So it's going to be sad to see him go, but it's also a good thing, because that he was the most difficult with me. So it's not only just being older, but he was my dad's, employee. And I'm kind of glad it's happening now. Rip the Band-Aid off, and we'll start fresh and build the team back up. I already have a great team, great culture. We're just going through some bumps right now.
Now you're still specializing in primarily
European.
German.
Yep. So I kind of 3 years ago, we were kind of doing more than just European. My dad wanted to expand on that and do more cars Asian and whatnot. I reversed that a while back and strictly do European. Probably 95% of the cars we work on, 98% is European. We do have the occasional Toyota, Subaru. I have customers that have a BMW and a Subaru, and we'll still work on them. We won't do diag on them, mostly just maintenance and easy stuff. But yes, we are strictly European, newer European. So
you work on minis also?
Lots of minis. Yep.
Jaguars,
Porsche, Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes, BMW. We used to have a few exotics that came in, but I don't take those in anymore. They don't make money unless you're doing them all the time and you have resources to work on them, which we do not.
Right. So, it's interesting you brought up the older tech and things like that, because that's a pretty common thing, I think, with when you're passing a shop over from, to a younger generation. Some of those old guys, they just can't get that in their head that, okay, now this kid's the boss. Right. And,
Yeah.
It's hard to overcome. It really is. And sometimes if you're really fortunate, you can establish a working relationship with people like that. But I think, your situation is much more common, where at some point after that turnover occurs, that person's going to decide to leave. And you just have to be prepared for it. And then you deal with it when it happens, which it sounds like that's exactly where you were at.
Yeah. And I sort of forced it earlier. As you both know, I'm in the top 20, and
Right.
I get a lot of support from my group, really useful support. And one of the big hurdles I was dealing with is that older technician was trying to basically run the shop his way and make it his shop.
Sure.
And there were certain things, I let slide and whatnot. But probably about a month ago, I decided, no, this isn't his shop. This is our shop, my dad and myself, and I'm gonna do it my way. And I just really took control and took a lot of control away from him, and I think that's what forced him out. Which, like I said, is we're just gonna move forward from here.
Yeah. And
Uh,
that's a great handling for that, in my opinion.
yeah, because
Yeah,
you're learning a very valuable lesson. It's anytime you feel you must have an employee, that employee has you.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you
That,
begin working for them and not the other way around.
that's a really good point, Bob. And I think my mind shift from what you said to um, just thinking that I don't need him, I think is what ultimately is leading us to greater success, honestly.
Yeah.
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 Now,
I can totally see that.
are you still all in the same location? Because the last time I was up there, you hadn't moved into. Your dad was thinking about there was another store next to yours. I think he was either a carpet or furniture store.
So there is a carpet place next to us, but on the other side of that was a Wonder Bread depot.
That's what it
And
was.
we all know what happened to Wonder Bread about
Yeah.
10 years ago. So
We
we
all wondered
acquired
why they
that.
called it bread.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are in the same location. My goals for the business is we're right in between a very affluent town and a normal town, I would say. But I do a lot of tracking of stats and whatnot, and a lot of money comes from this other town that's a little bit up the hill from us. And I live down towards the other town, so it would be nice to bring the shop closer to home. I mean, it's only 12 miles from my house, thinking long term. But
Mhm.
I really don't want to. I can't really go further away from this other town because um, that's a 80% of our clients, and there's no European shops up there, and there's 7 down here. So we're kind of in a unique location. My goals are we're in 3 units right now, all connected. My dad owns 1 unit, the other 2 we're renting, and we've been trying to purchase for a while. I think my dad would like to purchase those units. I have no problem paying family rent. I just don't want to pay someone else
Sure.
rent. I
Right.
want to own the building. And like I said, if my dad owns it and he's out, that's one thing. I have no problem with that. But if we don't own those 2 units, I'm kind of in the process of, yes, purchasing the business, but also I'd like to either build my own shop in the same vicinity, or purchase those 2 units. So that's where we're at. As far as expansion, I have no desire to own 2 shops.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a second business and something else down the road, but as of right now, I just want one nice shop, and I do have potential to expand where we're at, but I would maybe entertain the idea of building something completely new. Right across the freeway is a big commercial development. They just put a new grocery store over there. A bunch of other small units are going in.
Is it zoned
Nothing
for dirty industry?
Yeah, zoned. Yeah, they're putting a huge car wash in over there, and there was a restaurant. There's a gas station over there, Starbucks, Mexican restaurant, CVS, local food chain. There's only like 6 of them local to our area. There's some banks over there, some storage units. Well, they just ripped down one of this restaurant with a huge concrete area. I think it's on like, I had to guess 2 acres, maybe 1.5. And ideally, this is just me thinking and dreaming. It would be really cool to put a shop there and start from the ground up. But
Oh yeah,
that's a far off dream right now. So
hey, no, keep it there. Just keep that
Yeah.
vision there.
Yeah.
And you can make that happen. And there's an awful lot of experience in your 20 group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Lean on those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. We have 2 guys right now that are going through expansion. And it's nice to see their expansion. And then in my previous 20 group, a good friend of mine, who's not with Drive anymore, is building a shop from the ground up, and it's fun to watch him as well.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. And I understand venturing off into maybe other avenues or other interests, but we had a motto for a long time, and I don't know if you remember Mike Lee.
I do.
You do? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Mike had a motto, and that was do what you do best.
Yes.
Because
I agree with that.
TransKing got up to 6 locations, and they got bored, and so they started delving into other kinds of businesses, and none of them worked.
No, yeah. When I say other business, it would still be in the automotive.
Oh, good.
I'm
not
big,
bar stools.
No. I'm really big into overlanding, if you know what that is. I'm actually, after this, I'm going on a trip with my 2 boys, giving mom some alone time. But we're all packed up, and I like to just go out in either Nevada desert or up the California coast, just out in the wilderness. And I like building vehicles for that. I've so far built 3 vehicles that over the years that can support that kind of thing. And
what are you using for a platform?
Right now I have a Chevy Colorado diesel, which is, I've probably put $30,000 or $40,000 into it. So
easily done.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were delving into a G model Benz.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. No, that I would like to build one of those eventually. But it's funny, I do work on European cars, but reliability wise, some of the domestic stuff has a good platform.
Yeah, especially when you're in the outback there.
Yeah. You don't want to be in the outback sorry if there's anyone listening in an old Land Rover.
No.
We work on a lot of them.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny because when you said that, I was just thinking that same thought. Because they're not,
they really are, but
they're not the most reliable vehicles.
Well, it was kind of funny. I remember Land Rovers when I was a young tech, and we always joked that they were fine until you put them on pavement. You had to keep them in.
That's probably
Keep them in the dirt. Don't put them on pavement.
Yeah.
So. All right. So you told us a little bit about your goals and how the whole exit and things went. I want to talk about some of the other things that had to change in the shop as you guys did that transition, because I'm sure it wasn't all just smooth and easy, and
there's a lot. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of little stuff too that you don't think about, like I mean, you have your banking, and we pretty much follow the Drive banking to the T with the multiple accounts. So switching over all that stuff. I mean, like I said, my dad's still an owner, so he's still on all those accounts. But all the little stuff. I mean, you don't realize how many little subscriptions here and there that are under his name that need to be moved over. And then you get into the tax stuff and the LLC, we're corporation with the county, and changing all that stuff, which, like I said, I'm not the owner, so we haven't done that yet, but all the little stuff we are working on. And there's so much to do when it comes to the little stuff. And that's the stuff that takes all your time.
Oh, it is very time consuming.
Yeah,
Now, are you guys documenting that and putting it in your playbook? So,
I am not.
yeah,
No, that sounds like a good thing to do, though.
Yeah, so
it's a-
that way you don't have to go through the same thing with your son.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, and that's, once you get that kind of stuff laid out, yeah, there'll be changes over time. But if you keep those kinds of documents current, then anytime you want to transition over to somebody else managing the shop for you, or you eventually want to turn it over to your boys, it's going to make the process a whole bunch easier. And that's one of the great uses of Playbook, is getting all that information out of somebody's head and into an accessible form.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. We've recently put all of our policies on Playbook.
Oh, good.
So they're all,
That's
every
great.
single one. I think we have 169.
It's
think
amazing,
right
isn't
around
it, how many you end up with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very easy. It's actually very easy to just put them over.
Yeah.
My dad and I kind of tag teamed it. Probably had it done less than a week, just working an hour here and there.
Yeah.
It was really easy.
That's
And
awesome.
one of your fellow top 20 guys is watching, John Starkey from Hawaii.
Oh, hey, John, how's it going?
Now, one of the keys, and we can talk about this a bit, when you're doing succession and exit planning, especially in a legacy type shop, is it's so important to have the right team of professionals working with you. And I'm sure Urs has got a good team of accountants, lawyers.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We do have our accountant's very good, and she's local to our area, worked with a few small businesses that have had succession down to their generations. And she has some experience with that. So she's a wealth of information and very helpful. So
Yeah,
Great.
that's a really helpful resource to have, as somebody who's, like, from a financial point of view, done it a couple of times.
Yeah. What's the structure of the shop now, Christoph? You're obviously owner, manager.
So we run 2 service advisors and 4 technicians. I have room for 5 technicians. That's what I want to build it to. Obviously, one of my guys is leaving, so now I have 3 technicians. And it's not a really good combo where we do a lot of diagnostics, so I really need some A technicians. So right now, with this guy phasing out next week, I'm gonna have 1 A tech, 1 B tech, 1 C tech. I really would like either 2 more B techs or another A tech. See what comes our way.
Right.
And I mean, I have the room for 5, and my service advisors, one of them has been with us. We hired her 6 months after I came back to work for my dad, and the other one's been with us about a year and a half. Both stellar. Did not come from the automotive. I'm not a big firm believer on hiring advisors from the automotive field. There's pros and
Amen.
cons.
I'm with you on that, brother.
Yeah,
Bob
there's
and I are on the
pros and
same page on
cons.
that one.
Yeah, if they're familiar with the systems you have in place, they could be plug and play. But I don't know if you guys see my stats. We're consistently over $1,000 average RO. They don't. We don't hold back. I train them extensively on it's doing our clients a disservice to not tell them what's wrong with their car. It's our job to tell them what's
Absolutely.
wrong with their car.
Right.
And the way we price things out is beneficial to our customers and beneficial to us as far as GP numbers, keeping those in order. And at the end of the day, our customers love us, and we don't allow the technicians to do it's very separate. There's the front, there's the back. And we're fully digital, fully transparent. We really push the transparency thing to our customers.
That's great.
But that's pretty much the structure. We're 6,000 square feet, 8 bays with an alignment rack. I'm not involved in the front at all. I have a lot of customers that want to see me from time to time, or if there's a weird issue, I'll step up into the front office. I like being up there sometimes, you know. But as far as the sales go and writing up of everything, that's 100% my front staff, and then I'm more focused on the finances and building of the team.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. Now, you've got, do you have a training plan or a training program in place for your tech so you can actually get them more skilled?
I have a loose training program in play. Nothing too solid. They're pretty much go-getters. We're with ATI, I believe. They all have an account and they'll sit there and watch videos. My newest hire, she's on there probably, I don't know, a couple hours a day, just learning, you know.
That's great.
I've recently switched our business back in November to 410s.
Yeah. How did you do that
worker.
in California?
That was difficult. So California, it's at the end of the day, it's 40 hours
Right.
a week. So we don't have overtime. It's 10-hour days, but you have to vote on it, and everyone anonymously, and everyone has to vote in favor of it.
So
And
that's
they
how you
did.
get around the 8-hour a day
Yeah.
overtime rule?
Yeah, it's I remember reading about it. If it's not unanimous, then you can't do it or something like that.
Yeah, if you're
And
switching to it. If you're like starting a new business and you just say, hey, we're 410s, that's one thing, but
right.
switching, and they all wanted it. It was an adjustment. But since then, on average, my techs are booking a roughly 2.8 to 3.2 more hours per week.
Wow.
So it's a little bit more, and there's more potential. I can tell on Monday they're more well rested.
Absolutely.
They're more willing.
How was the adjustment with your customers on something like that?
That they took it the easiest. I really hit them with. I really was proactive about it. With we're with Auto Vitals, and I used their text blast system to inform our customers. And I would probably say new customers is one thing. You got to change everything, your website, all the little stuff. You got to change all your timing. We probably only average 2 calls on a Friday now. 6 months later. Before it was, you come in Monday morning and there'd be a lot of missed call, but right now my service advisors tell me there might be 2 or 3 messages to respond to on Monday, maybe more. So they took it really, really, really well. And like I said, we're pretty rural. You've been here before, Bob. So you kind of got to drive to get places. So being open at 7 is a huge plus.
Sure.
We're seeing a lot of people drop off before 8, and before it would be like they'd have to drive their kids to school first and then drop off. So we wouldn't see the car till 9:30. Now, 80% of the drop offs are before 8. They're just there.
That's great.
Well, I think
really
there's
helpful.
so many sell points to where you are, especially trying to recruit out of the Bay Area.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing right now, actually.
Absolutely.
Exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm pushing. We're in a really nice area right in the foothills. A lot of people move up from the Bay Area. And for those of you that are in different states or whatnot, Bay Area, I'm referring to San Francisco. Everyone knows San Francisco. So it's about 2 hours away, almost 3 maybe.
Right. But it's a world different.
8 out of 10 new customers. I get a lot of retirees are moving to the area from the Bay Area, very affluent. And 8 out of 10 are probably from the Bay Area. So I'm really pushing to get a tech from there, like an A tech. Obviously the pay is not going to be what it is in the city, but we are
but the expenses are nowhere near the same.
Yeah, a lot less.
Yeah.
And plus and you've got the quality of life is far different. I mean, living in a city like San Francisco, not only do you have the expenses, but you have, all the other things that go with large cities, higher crime, more stress in general, blah, blah, blah.
Traffic.
And you move traffic,
Bay
even lock my
Bridge.
I don't even lock my car,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Here, it's very yeah.
I just made a similar transition to what you're trying to get Tex to do, and I can tell you the whole mindset is different, and it took us a while
Yeah.
to adjust from the big city mindset to a much more relaxed mindset. But once you get there, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
it's way better. So that's a huge selling point for recruitment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That with the 410s,
Yeah,
man, I'd be there in a heartbeat as a tech.
Yeah.
Leave the
seriously.
Bay Area. Oh man.
Seriously. I agree with you. Those
Yeah.
guys that are working in San Francisco or Oakland,
Yeah.
it would be amazing to move out of that to a place where you get 3 days off every week, and something like
Yeah.
that
They
would be
love it.
awesome.
They love it. I'm big on culture.
Mhm.
It's one thing my dad was never. He's a German guy. He's Swiss. They're very business oriented,
Yeah. Don't
which is
call him
good.
German.
No, but they're very. He's more. I'm more. I spend time with these people more than my family almost.
Yes.
I want to enjoy my time at work. I don't want to just go there to work.
Right.
And I pushed that on to my people. And we had a culture problem probably 2-3 years after I started. And it was a pipe dream thinking of the culture that I wanted to create. Like, how am I going to do this? How are we going to get the business to where I want it? But we're here now, we have barbecues at the shop. I took the whole shop to SEMA Vegas back in November. We're very close to Vegas, so it's easy. And we just like to have fun together. We all have lunch together.
Well, that's great.
That's awesome.
And
It's all, it's generational. Your dad comes from a very similar
yeah,
generation and mindset that I did. And you just didn't do those things.
no,
You came to work, you worked, and you went home.
yeah. And I'm extremely involved in the community as well. And I think that's really helped with our success as well. I'm in Lions Club. I do a lot of events with them. I'm higher up in the line. I help with a ton of events, and everybody knows, I run Euro Motors, and
That's
I may
great.
not get a lot of customers from it, maybe a few, but they talk to their friends, and
Absolutely.
that's
Sure.
the secondary contacts where I'm getting people
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
They
Hey,
see
what's your mom?
me
What's your mom
helping.
up to?
Same thing. She teaches, I believe, part-time at a school actually near the shop. So yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Good. Well, make sure you
Well,
say hi to both of them for me.
Yeah, I will.
well, unfortunately, we're bumping up against our time here. I feel like we could talk for quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you very much for joining us today. Congratulations on your success and the culture you've built, and all the best in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, Christoph. Well done on taking the horns and making this your own. That's
Yeah.
very well
Thank you.
done.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks, Bob and Chris.
And for our audience, we will not be doing a show next week because it's Memorial Day weekend, and we will be back on June 2nd. So everybody have a great weekend, have a great Memorial Day, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
So long, everyone.